Every single time. You are kidding me. What is going on? Exactly this. This is what is going to happen when you update a smaller version of a tool, of a plugin, of a software developer, of, I don't know, contact, whatever it will be, another program. And this is what I want to talk about briefly in this video, my personal experience. And you can obviously write a comment that you where you share your personal opinion about this topic, because it's of course very subjective. But yeah, I just want to tell what I have experienced over the last 10 years. So in the last 10 years, I did two major updates. The first update was a total fail. And it was because one of the colleagues during my studies, he said, yeah, there is a bigger update with native instruments. And this is obviously one of the first plugins that you start using when you start to produce, compose, etc. And at that time, I had 10.6 on Mac. So it was Snow Leopard. I think this was the version. And then I had, because of this native instrument update, I had to update the Mac. So going from 10.6 to 10.7 at this time, which I did. And usually when you do those bigger updates from one version to the next, so not those 0.5 or 0.6, the smaller versions, you actually, the best way is just to reset everything and re-download everything that you had on your hard drive, which I didn't. And I just wanted to, cut this time basically. So just not waste this time deleting everything and uploading everything back to the HDD. And yeah, I just did this bigger update. And after that, nothing worked. So I couldn't open all the projects because the plugins that were inside the session, I still used Logic at this time, and I don't know what happened, but Logic crashed all the time. What is the solution? The solution is to go back again to 10.6 and just wasting basically 2 days again, deleting everything and make it clean. Just building everything from the ground up, right? 2 days wasted. After that, I said to myself, I don't care about those major updates that the developers are doing. If I see there is something really, really super important that I would like to use in my daily workflow, then probably I will have a second thought about it, and then I will make this cleaner update with deleting the previous files and downloading everything, so everything is running smooth after that. I mean, the chances are of course pretty high that it will succeed, but not going straight from 10.6 to 10.7. It was almost 10 years ago. The second time I made a bigger update, it was actually an upgrade because after the MacBook, I had the iMac, and I mean, there was no issues with that because you have your system that is already there. You waited, most of the time you waited 1 or 2 years after you know that every single developer has improved the bugs, etc., etc. So everything worked fine. It was the second major update. So what I'm trying to say here is that the last night, the previous night before, so 2 days ago, one of my friends, he said, yeah, there is a DaVinci Resolve 17. I knew because it's a video software that I use for cutting the YouTube videos. I knew that the 17th version is available. I still used 16, and everything was fine. And I said, okay, let's just make a test. Let's try it out. What will happen? And I understood that I have to go from 10.4. So it was. Give me a sec. I have to. Not telling you any bullshit. 10.14. So I have Mojave still, and I had 0.4. Okay, so the last version is 10.14.6. That I had to have in order to install 17. So I said, okay, let's make a test, because I knew that even those smaller upgrades, what will gonna happen with my audio system? So the DW, the plugins, etc. I did it. Resolve, so DaVinci Resolve, everything was fine. I think that even the software kind of improved a little bit with the workflow, so became a little bit faster. At least this was my impression. And then I opened a new session in Studio One and just dragged some plugins here and there. And Studio One has basically two ways how you can use audio plugins. So you have audio units and you have VST 3 plugins. I think VST as well works, the older the second version, but 3 is like this modern stuff. And here and there, depending on the developer, you have the option to either use audio units or the VST3 version. Sometimes you just have this VST3 because the audio units are, for whatever reason, not available, or you didn't download them. It depends. But most of the time you have both. And I knew that VST3 with plugin lines with Brainworks, it was, I will not show it because I don't know, later on it worked for whatever reason. But when I opened it and tried it out, I had problems with the CPU. So the CPU started to act really strange with those VST3 versions. And this is not fun. I mean, this is what happened, or at least this is what I have experienced. This is what will gonna happen most of the time with either one developer or the second one. And I don't know. This is why I don't upgrade or update anything for as long as I can, because after that, like let's say you used it like for 2-3 years, and I used my system for 2 years without any problems because I didn't make any updates to the system, to the plugins, etc. So everything is fine. Then you do this update and something is gonna crash. It's not working properly. The DW, yeah, it's crashing. Maybe the plugins are even not, opening. And you have to waste again your time going for each of the developer, trying to get the latest version, or at the worst case, you have to go again back and, yeah, wasting time. And this is why I don't do it anymore. So it was just an example again that it's always great to be like at the current time. I get it, but I know that if you change a running system, you will have, so I lose more than I win, basically. Even if there is a new, I don't know, feature inside a plugin, most of the time, if this is like the new thing that I really know it will help, I have to think about it. But most of the time, it's just, yeah, okay, it's a new feature, it's cool. But should I risk this? I don't know. What is your opinion about this topic? Because I mean, I'm interested. I know there are a lot of people. The first update is there, update. The first possible something is there, instant update. Like the day it's released, right? I'm not a big fan because I experienced even on Mac system. Don't forget it. If you use Windows, I know many people, they have even more issues because, I mean, Mac is pretty simple. You have one machine, it's more or less the same machine, and the developers know exactly what they have to fix in order so it's working. And Mac always is kind of the first system that they fix. But Windows, you have to think about, okay, is it the GPU? Is it the RAM? Is it the main board? Is it, I don't know, your mouse? It can be anything, right? So yeah, I mean, tell me what you think. Thank you for watching this rant video, and have a beautiful week. I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.
Swag on overload, boy.